कुर्वन्ति तत्र ह्यनुकम्पया कृपाम् न साधवो दैव बलात् कृते क्रमो Mataji, have the phones with you? Not hearing much. Still there. We'll put on the TV. Oh, it is only put on the TV, yeah? Because you will not have much time to, have too many repetitions. So, Yasmin yada pushkaranabhamayaya durantaya sprishtadiya pritagdrisha kurvanti tatra hyanukampaya kripam na sadhavo daiva balat krite kramam. We'll go to the word for word, this interest of time. It's a very sweet verse, Yasmin, in some place. Yada, when. Pushkara, by the illusory energy of Pushkaranabha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Durantaya, insurmountable. Sprishtadiyaha, bewildered. Pritak Trishaha, the same persons who see differently. Kurvanti, do. Tatra, there. He, certainly. Anukampaya, out of compassion. Kripam, mercy. Na, never. Sadhavaha, saintly persons. Daiva balat, by providence. Krite, being done. Kramam, prowess. Translation and purport by Divine Grace, Vaishnavas, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, please repeat. My dear Lord, it is still coming, huh? 648. Okay, in the meantime, you can repeat, I think. My dear Lord, if in some places, materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Godhead, sometimes commit offenses, a saintly person with compassion does not take this seriously, knowing that they commit offenses because they are overpowered by the illusory energy. He does not show his prowess to counteract them. Jai Srila Prabhupada purport is here. It is said that the beauty of a tapasvi or saintly person is forgiveness. There are many instances in the spiritual history of the world in which many saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. Parikshit Maharaj, for example, was unnecessarily cursed by a Brahmana boy, and this was very much regretted by the boy's father. But Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse and agreed to die within a week, as the Brahmana boy desired. Parikshit Maharaj was the emperor and was fully in power both spiritually and materially. But out of compassion and out of respect for the Brahmana community, he did not counteract the action of the Brahmana boy but agreed to die within 7 days. Because it was desired by Krsna that Parikshit Maharaj agreed to the punishment so that the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world, Parikshit Maharaj was advised not to take action. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. Jai Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purports Ki. Amazing purport, huh? You read it hundreds of times, but still you will not feel, how Prabhupada, in all the three worlds, you will not get a purport like this. No? And this is the essence of all Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. सह गणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुन् दीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवम श्री चैतन्यमीश्वरम। नमो विष्णुपाद कृष्णपृष्ठाभूतले श्रीमते महाविष्णु गोस्वामिन्नति नाम्ने। नमो विष्णुपाद कृष्णपृष्ठाभूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्नति नाम्ने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी विचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। This verse and the previous verse, these two are very, very important verses. Specifically, in these two verses, this word Pritak Drisha word is so interestingly used commonly, You know the context of this particular, is it okay, Prabhu, is it audible? So, you know the context of this entire chapter, right? If you read through this chapter, it's very interesting. I was just reading through just while I was on the way, it's my regular sadhana. It's very interesting because right from the beginning, 4th canto, 2nd chapter onwards, you will see this entire episode of Daksha offending Lord Shiva, and then the talks between Sati and Mother Sati and Lord Shiva. Then Sati going to Daksha's sacrifice, and again, there again she sets herself on fire, and then Lord Shiva becomes very angry, and then he finishes his servants, in fact, finish the entire the Yajnashala and cuts off Daksha and all those things we know. This chapter is post all these incidents, what happens, So it's very amusing. I was just thinking something very interesting that all through Daksha was offending, he was neglecting Lord Shiva, and first, how he was cursing Lord Shiva and all that happened. Interestingly, no demigods spoke any word against Daksha, right? So no demigod spoke any words against Daksha. They were afraid of him, right? But so they were okay, Shiva being offended, though they knew that it is wrong, right? But when Shiva showed his actual prowess, then they saw his what he can do when he is really angry, right? So na sadhavo daiva balat krite kramam. They have the power to do so, but they just don't do for a specific reason. In other words, the power to annihilate or destroy someone is within their control. In other words, further, if you want to say, they are beyond the guna, so they can utilize that power to annihilate somebody or create or maintain according to their wish, not according to how the modes wish or the material energy wishes. We have to see that difference. Not just say, so Lord Shiva became angry. No. He could have finished them off when Daksha was cursing him in the first yajna. He silently came away, isn't it? He showed the Vaishnava behavior right there. Right? Whereas when Sati had to go through this whole difficult, the whole challenge, then he did not, then he would not tolerate. That shows how Vaishnavas should behave. For one's own self, they will go to any extent of tolerance. But the same, someone else or some other Vaishnava or some other person is unduly harassed, then they can finish them off. They can finish them off to the complete extent. So this is exactly what he is showing here. And these demigods, when they were okay for Shiva being offended, but when they saw that the havoc that his servants can create, then they go to Brahma and pray that please, please solve this problem. Lord Shiva is really angry with us. Then Brahma takes them all. He says that I told you, you should not have offended. You should have given. What's wrong in giving him one bhaga of the. See, at the end of the day, you see it in a different way. Lord Shiva was angry, upset. No, he was only upset that he didn't get Krishna Prasadam. We don't get Krishna Prasad. See, when life members come, they say, ISKCON, they are doing so many big things, but they are not giving us. I didn't get Mahaprasadam, And then we'll, no, don't worry, we'll give you. And then we'll take them to a separate room and give them whatever they want, all Rajbhog, everything. So like that, if they had given the Mahaprasadam to Lord Shiva in the beginning itself, this problem would not have happened. All he wanted was Mahaprasadam. Krishna's Mahaprasadam, which was offered to the Lord. And they were not offering him. And you see, Lord Shiva is a different kind of person. He is, that other story, that Jagannath Prasadam came also, right? How Narada goes to Vaikuntha, gets the Prasadam, the Mahaprasadam, and then when he comes, he takes Mahaprasadam dancing and coming all the way to Kailash. And when he comes to Kailash, Lord Shiva is excited. Hey, what are you dancing today? I got Prasadam, Mahaprasadam, Then he grabs the whole thing and he takes it. Then Mother Parvati comes, where is my portion? He says, no, I finished everything myself. That whole story, right? So Lord Shiva is actually after Mahaprasadam, nothing else. He is mad after Mahaprasadam. So you should understand that part of. Only thing is, if you don't give Mahaprasadam, certain people will behave in a certain way. Lord Shiva has a unique way of behaving. Like, small children, when you don't give them what they want, they will create ruckus to make sure that they get it, isn't it? So he's innocent like a child in that sense. So we should not put the blame on, he's Asuto, he's too angry and all that things. No. He's so pure a Vaishnava that he can go to any extent to get the Mahaprasadam. If we are also eager for that Mahaprasadam, not for the taste of it, but for the essence of it, then we will also get the perfection at some point in life. So this is the underlying reason. But at the same time, he was also not happy with the Vaishnavi, pure Vaishnavi, had to go through so much harassment. Now, it's very interesting. Prabhupada connects this situation with Parikshit Maharaj. Because both go very much in parallel, right? Very similar to this sloka, 1:1848. Tiraskrita, vipralabdha, shapta kshipta hata api, na tasya pratikurvanti tadbhakta prabhavopihi. Even though they have the prowess to counteract, they will not counteract. What are the things they will not counteract? They will be neglected, they will be cursed, they will be criticized, they will be killed. In any of these situations, they will not counteract, even though they have the power to counteract. That is why Prabhupada says, na sadhavo daiva balat krite kramam. Sadhus, even though they have the kramam, they have the prowess to do it, they will still not do it. That is their unique nature. And this quality, if we can somehow or other imbibe in our life, then we have Bhagavatam, we are practicing Bhagavatam. This is what we learn from Parikshit Maharaj and Lord Shiva and even Mahatma Vidura. Unlimited examples are there in Bhagavatam. They follow the same pattern. That you can do whatever you want with me, but you cannot do anything to my bhakti. You cannot stop me from worshipping the Lord. You cannot stop me from serving the Lord. That kind of determination he has. And the second important point is they understand, the most important thing we have to see in these common examples is that they understand where those what do you call, the opponents, those who are cursing us, harming us, where they are coming from, in what platform they are in. You see, unless we see the platform where they are coming from, we will not keep ourselves outside of the circumstances and situation. The moment we are outside of that circle, of that circumstance, then we will see it differently. And this is exactly repeated by Mother Earth. This is actually, it is spoken by Avadut Brahmana, and he is telling us what he learned from Mother Earth. Bhutair akramya manopi, it's 11.737. Bhutair akramya manopi, dhiro daiva vashanugaihi. Daiva vash. Same thing here. Where is that word? Daiva balat kritekram. They are all captured, they are caught in the net web of material energy. Those who are harming us, those who are criticizing us or creating any kinds of problems for us. So we have to just be a little bit patient. We have to just little bit patient and just forbearance. That is why he's saying the first line, Prabhupada says, the beauty of tapasvi or saintly person is forgiveness. Right? So the Mother Earth's point is very, very interesting. Bhutair akramya manopi, they do akraman. But why do they doing akraman? Dhiro daiva vashanugaihi. Dhira person understands they are all completely in the caught. Vasha means completely helplessly caught by the material energy. Daiva vash. Daiva balat kritekramam. Same thing. Dhiro daiva vashanugaihi. Tadvidwan na chalen margat. He will not give up his path. His path is straight. He doesn't change his path just because they are all. Once somebody was telling some things to my Guru Maharaj, known as Mahavishnu Goswami, that Maharaj, we can do like this, we can do like this. If that person is like this, we can also act like this, like that. And they were telling. And then Maharaj said simply one thing. See, you have every freedom to go like this. I will go only like this. Don't make me go like this. You do whatever you want with your twists and turns, like a snake goes like that, you see. Snake can't go straight. You know what snake's basic nature is, right? Envious. The way crooked. The crookedness is what is it? Straight path you go, it's very simple. Why are you forcing me to be crooked? I am straightforward. You go in whatever way you want. I'm not bothering you. I'm not forcing you to be straightforward. Why are you forcing me to be crooked? When we are straightforward, half the battle is solved, Prabhu's Matajis. This is simply straightforward. Just one problem we have. We are all very proud of saying, I'm straightforward. Prabhu, I'm straightforward, I will tell everything straightforward. But simply straightforward is not enough. We should be simple. We say Sida, but it's called Sida Sada, right? Right? You be Sada and then you be Sida. Without being Sada, if you are Sida, then you go and bang against the wall, Right? We have to be Sida and Sada, simple and straightforward. Both Sida, Sada, yes, same, right? So as long as we are simple in our heart, in other words, we don't keep anything in our heart. That's the basic thing. Simple does not mean, I am lying on the floor, I am doing this, I am doing that. Once one devotee came and told my spiritual master, Maharaj, that Maharaj, our house is so simple that we don't have any furniture in our home. We don't have any furniture in our home, no TV, nothing. Our house is so simple, Maharaj. Then Maharaj said, your house is filled with all your pride that there is no space for furniture also. You are so proud of being simple. There's no space for furniture. Man, you want to have furniture, you keep furniture. If you don't want to have, keep it outside. What's the problem? Most important is bhakti. No, we want to be, we want to show that I am simple. I am sitting on the floor. Nobody is there to beat me in simplicity. This is ridiculous nonsense, So this is how we get caught in the web of Maya, right? So when Bhutair akrame manopi, when they are all always doing akraman, Someone who is very simple and straightforward, they will not they will not simply say, no, oh, I am straightforward, I am straightforward. The problem with people who are only straightforward, no, they cannot accept others being straightforward to them. They will say anything and everything on your face. You tell one point on their face, they cannot accept. Right? This we should introspect ourselves. That are we able to take, when somebody says something, are we able to take it or just ignore it? No, we just take it. Yes, there is some flaw in me. Somebody is showing this thing to me. Let me accept it, and I'm not going to lose my sleep over it. Gradually it will come. At least somebody has pointed this out to me. So it means that Krishna wants me to hear this at this point in time. That you are in this so and so thing, you better try to fix it. Then we will take it. And then we'll say, Prabhu, I am only hearing people giving negative comments. Good, no? There's nobody to give negative comments. All devotees are only giving, oh Prabhu, you are great, you are great, you are great. Then we are thinking we are great. So that is nothing really. We are nothing. We are nothing really in front of all these great Mahatmas. So, Dhiro Daiva Vashanuvahi Tadvidvan Na Chalen Margat Anvashiksham Kshiter Pratam. I learned this from Kshitij. He said Kshitij, for Bhumi. The name is coming from this. Kshitij means it tolerates. Bhumi, Mother Bhumi tolerates everything. And we break, we drill and we do everything possible, but still she is giving us a platform on which we can walk. So why she is tolerating all this? Because Dhiro Daiva Vashanugaihi. We are able to see how these people are caught up in the modes of material nature. In order to see that they are in the modes, we should be out of the modes. And for that we need Bhagavatam. And see, there is a very beautiful word for word. I just got it only right now when I was reading. This is the beauty of Bhagavatam. The more you read, the more newer things come out. I've read this verse so many times, but it's something very interesting. In the word for word, Prabhupada says, Pritak Drishaha. Right? See, the same, in the previous thing, he's saying those who are thinking differently. In the previous verse, no need to go to the previous verse, but this verse, you see, the same persons who see differently. Very beautiful thing we have to notice. See, this word for word, I don't know where Prabhupada got those directions from, guidance from. They are so sweet, Prabhu's Mataji. You will forget going to purport also when you go into the word for word. See, this is such a nice thing to relate to, because most of the time our problem does not come when somebody scolds us for the first time. The problem comes, we see that as a problem only when someone who is already glorified us is criticizing us. Isn't that true? Oh, so long he was glorifying me, suddenly what happened? He is criticizing. All the time we were friends, suddenly they became turned, enemies or like that. Isn't it true? To what will, if you just fight with an auto rickshaw wala for 50 rupees, he calls us all gali he is giving you. You will not care. After some time, you will say, saved 50 rupees, finish, come on. Whatever gali he gives, it went into the air, right? You don't care for whatever he is giving. But some dear friends or some relatives or somebody who is with us, they treat us very nicely, and suddenly one fine day they turn against us. Then we can't sleep. That's why this word to word is so nice. The same person who think differently. It's the same person who spoke nice about us. And now he is thinking differently about us, saying something differently about us. Right? That is the beauty here. Brahma is telling this thing that you all were glorifying Lord Shiva. But again you sided with Daksha. Don't you think it would have affected him? He is not reacting. But if you were in his place, don't you think it would have affected him? This is how we have to understand, put our legs in other shoes and find out. This is Bhagavatam practice. If we don't understand this, then we will say, oh, Shiva is in Kailash, Parishit Maharaj is somewhere else, we are here in Vishal Nagar. What do they have to do with me? I have only my pet puja. That is my next aim. Go. This doesn't work. See how beautiful. One word for word, Prabhu's Mataji, you can take and you can go for hours together and you can practice for the whole life. And our Lord Shiva did not react at all. He could have reacted. He didn't react in the first instance. And the whole problem was because of that. I think we should stop here, Prabhu. I think it is time for Arati. Sorry? Jai. This is such an amazing purport. Now we are only in word for word, by the way, right? So understand the thing. Yasmin yada, someplace, someone. Pushkaranabha Mayaya. Again, now we are not seeing Maya as something independent of Krishna. Pushkaranabha Mayaya, Krishna's Maya. So when we say something is Krishna's Maya, then we will not react. We see it as some other Maya, then we will react. Isn't it? If somebody is telling, no, Prabhu, you are supposed to go there. No. Prabhu, I was supposed to do this. Why are you asking me to go there? No, Prabhu, Karnataka Prabhu told me to go. Then you will not question. Prabhu, everybody is laughing means I don't know. I just, because I know your name, that's why I brought it up. I can't. Please forgive me. In other words, see, someone who is the authority, you don't question, right? So the same way, if it is Pushkaranabha Maya, then you don't worry, you don't say, oh, why Krishna is doing like this? Why Krishna is doing like this? We can always accept it as he is doing it for my good. So the idea is, when you are accepting somebody as an authority, it is not simply like, oh, he's boss, he's my authority. No, not like that. Authority means we should accept also the fact that whatever he is doing is for our good. That is when we will start being obedient to the authority. Otherwise, we will begrudgingly be serving the authority. That will not work. Oh my God, this authority is always like this. He's always on my head. He's very heavy-handed. All those kind of things will come in our mind. But we should understand that whatever he is doing is with a well-wishing attitude, both for the entire community and for ourselves. When we have that in our heart, then we will lovingly follow the authority's ways instead of being begrudgingly follow. You see, that's the thing about anuchara. No, anuchara. We are all quoting the anucharas of Lord Shiva. When they were going behind Mother Parvati, Lord Shiva was sitting there. Mother Parvati did not listen. Again, there is an interesting thing Prabhupada gives for why Mother Parvati did not listen to Lord Shiva there. Why she was talking about all those the flags, the festivals, the palanquins and all kind of things. Why she was talking about all those things, like young child kind of a thing. Why she is telling all these things? Prabhupada writes beautifully. The thing is that Mother Parvati wanted to glorify Lord Shiva in that assembly, because in that assembly criticism of Lord Shiva was done earlier. But if she tells that to Lord Shiva, he will not allow her to go, because he is a Vaishnava. He would not like to be glorified anywhere. So she is giving all these indirect reasons. I want to see the flag, I want to see my relatives, I want to do this, I want to do that. And internally Lord Shiva knew. But because he does not want her to unnecessarily go there and glorify in an enemy's place, which will eventually be, he knew what was going to happen as a Vaishnava. So he stopped her from going. But still she went because she wanted to glorify Lord Shiva. Prabhupada writes there, I don't exactly know which purport it is, but he's writing there, one of the purports. So this is transcendental competition, which we have to understand. Externally it may look like, oh, what is this? We are glorifying Mother Parvati or worshipping her. She is having all this. This is all an external lila, but internally it's only for glorifying pure Vaishnava, that is Lord Shiva. And so here you see how Lord Shiva acted so amazingly in his entire pastime. He was perfectly humble. He was always meditating on Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. He says, I am always meditating on Lord Shiva. When we are always in connection with the Supreme Lord, then we will be able to see why these people are unnecessarily behaving in a very childish manner, cursing each other. You will be like this, you will be like this. At the end of the day, both of them are going to die. Sundar kaya mitti hogi, charcha hogi, bali buri. There is Sundar kaya, so this sent here, sent there. Mitti hogi. जिनको तुम अपना कहते हो एक दिन तुम्हें बुलाएंगे और अग्नि में तुम्हें जलाएंगे. That song is there, nice bhajan is there. They will not say, oh, he served me so nicely, I will keep him all the way. No, first thing they will do is put you in the fire. Right? So this is not that we are hating somebody or loving somebody. We are just keeping a distance from that circle of Maya. So once I asked my Guru Maharaj, this one of these persons, I am finding it difficult to align. I want to follow, but I am not able to follow. It's very ad hoc, and I don't understand how to follow. So it becomes difficult for me to do my seva. I'm having this in my head. It's sitting in my head kind. Maharaj said, no, don't look at that person. Don't look at that devotee. It is Krishna who is doing this. He is doing it through that person. So see Krishna. Go and shout whatever you want to Krishna. Shout at the top of your voice to Krishna. And you will always have a smiling face. And the moment you go near Krishna, so beautiful a verse, I wish we have time to read that one verse. If you go, it talks about the smile of Krishna. And that one verse, if you can just read the purport also, actually that is all we want in Bhagavatam, this purport, that purport. Prabhupada has put his heart in the purport, in his heart in the word for word, himself in all these things. So we just have to relish. And then the instructions to practice will automatically come on its own. How in the purport, if you go, Prabhu's Mataji, see how when Prabhupada is taking this episode of Parikshit Maharaj, how nicely he is telling, he agreed. What does that mean? When he says agreed to die. What does that mean, agreed to die? Suppose I am asking Anurag Prabhu, can we go, you might be having some other work. I'll say, Prabhu, can we just go there for say 5-10 minutes to this place? I just need to buy something. What you will do, you will adjust your timing in such a way that, okay, Prabhu, let's go 5-10 minutes only, we can adjust. I agree to come. Isn't it? Like yesterday, I booked my train ticket. I was to go to Chinchwad. But when with Sri Baldev Prabhu, I had a discussion. He said, Prabhu, we will have this program here on Thursday morning. Then when I told the timing, he said, Prabhu, you come by bus. It is easy for me to pick you up. Okay, that's also done. Then after that, Prabhu said, Prabhu, you arrange it in such a way that you come before 7 o'clock. We will have one more class here. I agreed. Right? I might have other preferences, but priorities, but I agreed. Because it is for a higher purpose. He is doing it with certain purpose. It's not my thing or your thing, it is just a glorification of Bhagavatam. I am able to get all your Sangha. Otherwise, I will be sitting and doing something else. Right? So this is how agreeing means we are being flexible. We are flexible to our priorities. We are able to adjust our priorities in such a way that we are able to accommodate someone else's priority as our priority. And so, Parikshit Maharaj would have had hundreds and thousands of priorities of administering the whole world, and then planning in such a way that everybody becomes Krishna conscious. That was his original plan. He was not having to just conquer this person, that person, etc. His whole idea was to make this whole world into a Vaishnava community. That's all. But there was a slight change in priority. Shringi had a different priority. What is that priority? Dear sir, I want you to die. What do we do? I was having these plans for next 100 years and you are asking me to die within how long? Only 7 days more. What did he do? He deprioritized his priority and he put the priority of Shringi up. Because he was sincerely committed to Krishna consciousness, for practicing bhakti. He was instructed by Krishna from within. When Prabhupada is advised, he was advised not to take action. It was Paramatma telling him not to take action. So when Paramatma is giving this action, okay, what is it that you want? Your job, your priority is to distribute Krishna consciousness all through the world. Right? Fine. And his thing is for you to die. Then Krishna says, just agree to his order. I will arrange for both the priorities to be satisfied. You see, that's what happened. The magic happened. What Parikshit Maharaj would have done otherwise, without this curse, in 100 years, was done in 7 days. Because he agreed to Krishna's order. And he agreed to deprioritize his priority and reprioritize Shringi's priority. In 7 days, Bhagavatam was spoken. And that Bhagavatam is what we are reading after 5,000 years. It may not be that even in 100 years he would have set up the whole Vaishnava community at that time. We don't know what would have happened with that passage of time. Things would have broken. Yoga nashta parantapa. But when we go by Krishna's priorities, accept Krishna's priority, our guru, our authority's priority as a higher one, and agree to go by, flow with that, the current of that one. What happens is we get even better benefit, even greater benefit. That even now we are reading Parikshit Maharaj about the glorification of Parikshit Maharaj. Right? I think we should stop here. We have the Arati now, Prabhu. Is that? So this is the message that we should take from from the pages of Bhagavatam and from the incidents, from the episodes that we have in front of us. This glorious Bhagavatam, Prabhu's Matajis, do not even leave this down. No, you don't even put it on the ground like this. Always keep it with you in the lap or in your wherever you can. Because I remember every time we go to see my Guru Maharaj in his room, he will always be with Bhagavatam. I remember Yashamati Nandan Prabhu, right, from Ahmedabad. He was the whole and soul for the entire Gujarat thing. And he was, when Maharaj started the project in Dwarka, it was the old guest house. Maharaj used to sit in the top, on the floor of the guest house, and he would come down for Mangalarti, and he would do all this thing and all the other Seva project related things and all he would do. But Yashamati Prabhu was curious, what is Maharaj doing normally? So he went once unannounced to Dwarka. Without telling Maharaj, he went once. And he went inside Maharaj's room, and he saw Maharaj was sitting there and reading Bhagavatam all through, without anybody there. He was always reading Bhagavatam, even during the afternoon, odd times also. So when Maharaj saw him, oh, you came, what is it? He said then that I came to check out whether, what do you do all day? And then Maharaj was, sitting with him also, making him also sit, and all he would do is just say, this is something which I read, and he would even call us and say, Kalchakra, this is a nice verse, you please take, or you will take some other devotee and you will tell some few points, and then you will say, you meditate on it. You will not just give everything to us. You will make us do the remaining work for ourselves. And then you say, you meditate on it, Vipuli Kuru, as Brahma tells to Narad Muni, you expand more. And that's how he was running this Grantaraj. You gave a few points and said, you do it more, develop further on it by your own personal realization. And that is how he would make us sit and do all this, puja, worship, aradhana of Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, please recite. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranamamalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramahamsyamekamalam Jnanam param giyate tatra jnana viraga bhakti sahitam Naishkarmyamaviskritam Tachrunvan supatan vicharana paro Bhaktya vimuchen naraha. It's Amala Puran. And if we call ourselves Vaishnavas, then it's Vaishnavanam Priyam. So we have, Bhagavatam has to be dear to us. If we call ourselves Vaishnava and Bhagavatam is not dear to us, then they don't go well together. Huh? And not only for Vaishnavas, even for Paramahamsas, that is the best thing, because it gives the complete knowledge. Jnana, Viraga, Bhakti, Sahitam. Jnanam, Vairagyam, Bhakti all together, and then something on top of it. What is that? Naishkarmyam. What we are running after, that also is there. But for getting all these things, what we should do? Jai Shri Shri Gauratai Ki Jai. So, to get this, what we should do? Only 3 things we should do. See, this is what yesterday we had some seminar on why we should study Bhagavatam and how we should study Bhagavatam. So this one shloka has everything in it. One is all the thing why we are studying Bhagavatam, because it is dear to the Vaishnavas, it is dear to the Paramahamsas, and then it gives Jnana, Vairagya, Bhakti, Naishkarmya, everything. This is all the reasons why we should study. No other scripture gives all these things. And how we should study is in the last line. Shrunvan, Supatan, Vicharana Paro. Hear attentively, but don't hear and then leave. Then do Supatan. What is it that is there in this shloka? Let me read further. That is Supatan. And then, not only that we are just doing Supatan, scrutinizing study, we think over, we contemplate on how to practice it. These 3 if we do, us to Golokvrindavan directly. Any questions? We can discuss now. Anything further that you difficult to practice what Parikshit Maharaj did, Prabhu? Difficult to see difficult to fathom us doing what Shiva did, Prabhu? Is there any easier ways to do achieve Golokvrindavan? Easier way is there. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for so wonderful class. So, Prabhuji, in the Bhagavatam only it is said that we should sit for long and study Bhagavatam. Dirgha Kalena.
Sorry? You
Sit for long and study for long time.
Yeah.
But usually, for me, what it happens that after 10-15 minutes, I lose the interest. So, I mean, how to develop that interest so that we can sit for long?
In what way you lose interest? You mean to say you are getting interest in something else?
So, concentration, or I'm not able to fix my mind, or something else is coming to mind.
Concentration, fixing the mind, don't worry, Prabhu. Half the time we are not concentrating, so don't. We can continue reading even if concentration is not there. But if something else is interesting us, I mean, if we are prioritizing that one, Prabhu, many times we have seen you start off in small ways. Don't think that, I have to sit for a long time. 15 minutes, if you are able to do that 15 minutes. But keep that 15 minutes focus. The beauty of Bhagavatam is that, Prabhu, what I have seen personally, and also my Guru Maharaj, many times he shared his wisdom too, is that Bhagavatam and chanting the Krishna's holy names, and his Leelas, Nama Rupa Guna Leela, they have this transcendental nature that it will slowly capture us. It will not immediately he will get into it in one go. It will slowly it will capture us. So 15 minutes when you are doing, all right, keep doing that 15 minutes. Don't worry about I am not able to do 1 hour. But that 15 minutes will slowly take you to half an hour, for 40 minutes, like that it will take you. But the point is that there is no point sitting for 5 hours and concentrating only for 20 minutes out of those 5 hours. Better you sit for 15 minutes and concentrate for 15 minutes. You get that point, Prabhu? We should let Bhagavatam take over us. Not that we should try to control Bhagavatam's time or whatever, because at the end of the day, Krishna is time. That 15 minutes we were with Krishna, But that we have to do that 15 minutes with bhav. Oh, I am only doing 15 minutes. I am only doing 15 minutes. That 15 minutes also is gone. You see? If you don't divert here and there, don't get distracted, that just do 15 minutes. That is also enough. Bhagavad Gita, Kinchit Chitta, Ganga Jalalama Kanika Pita, that Shankaracharya says. Start off slowly. Always remember one thing, Prabhu. When Gangotri starts, how the water comes? It is just little bit, right? The spring water. But when it comes near Haridwar, what is the force? Right? We always start in slow quantity. So small quantity. But quality is important. Quality eventually leads to quantity. So that is important, Prabhu. And the second thing is, you sit with somebody and read if you want to not get bored too soon. That is very important. The more we associate with devotees who are having that interest and honest discussions, Prabhu. I very much appreciated, last 2-3 years we have been into all these online sessions, many of us benefited, but on the other side, the flip side of it also, I have to tell that, there sometimes the respect for the classes also come down a bit. Now we are all sitting here and we are, sitting attentively and hearing. But if you are in the online, we just mute or we just put on, we switch off the video and then we do so many other things and in between we are hearing. That really dilutes the entire, the concentration, you see. So we have to see these things when we are, whether the quality is there or not. Like, very rarely I find sessions where the people are attentive, where they ask questions, like these questions that you asked, Prabhu. Like yesterday, last 2 days, we had some interesting discussion. The people there were very serious, online only, but I can see that they are attentive because they were asking very, very introspective, honest questions. The questions were directed towards very honestly, very eagerly, earnestly, I want to improve. That earnestness was there. If that is there, then like how Parishit Maharaj was earnestly wanting to hear Krishna Katha. So, you see, Parishit Maharaj was the only one who took the vow of 7 days fasting, no sleeping, no eating, nothing. Right? But because he was so earnest in listening Krishna Katha, that everyone there fasted. Shukadeva Goswami also fasted. He didn't take a vow. He could have drunk water in between. He could have slept. Hey, you are asking question. Wait, I am feeling sleepy. I will sleep and then I will come back. No. He also fasted. And all the sages were also fasting. This is how the purity or the earnestness of one devotee, one pure bhakta can inspire others also to do so. All these subtle things are very important. So Sangha is very important, Prabhu. So even when we are not having free minutes, someone else has like the Sunday program we had, half of them, they didn't expect to sit for that long. I asked them, are you feeling hungry? They said, no, let's go on. Like now also, Prabhu was so kind to let us continue this Bhagavatam as we would, otherwise we would have taken a break, right? So this way, the Sangha helps Prabhu. So find out small groups, or within, Radheshyam Prabhu was always telling this point that we want to start good Bhagavatam circles. We don't want to have numbers. We don't want to do it for numbers or some name and fame, all those things. Just sit and do. What's wrong? Madchitta madgata prana bodhayantah paraspara. And then we will realize, Prabhu, that we will see Bhagavatam is actually taking over us. Whatever you do, you will do it in such a way that, my Bhagavatam time should not be disturbed. In the whole 24 hours, whatever other chores, the priorities you will have, you will put it in such a way that Bhagavatam should not be affected. Like Prabhu was telling, Prabhu, we have a slightly different program here. We have the class first and then the Arati. So chanting first, then class, then the Arati. So then my mind, it was going, how do I finish my chanting? So when you give priority to the chanting, then you will always think of where to fit it in without disturbing the other schedule. I can't go and say, no, Prabhu, I will chant only at this time. I will not come to the... Can't do that. Right? It doesn't happen every day. It is just 1 or 2 days. We can always adjust. Right? So that is a thing I can give you, Prabhu. And my personal example, Prabhu, I started off just like a casual reading. No need to be too, put it in such a way that, oh, this is so much, I have to, nervous about things, creating a big thing about it. Just casually read anything that we read, just like a novel. And then you will see that, I remember when I was in the US, when I started reading, in the beginning, I used to go in the bus. The bus takes 30 minutes to reach the office. So the 30 minutes, I'll read 1 or 2 pages like that. And then once I reach, I will not even know that I'm reaching the office. Before that, I will be looking at the watch and this and that, traffic and everything. The 30 minutes will go like nothing. Then when I went to the office, the lift will be like 40 floors you have to go. It will take some time, 5 minutes to reach. So that 5 minutes also I will just read it. And then I was just going to my cabin, and there also I will sit and read a complete logically and keep it aside. Then slowly what happened, I said, okay, this is going on like this, but then from my home to office is about 5 kilometers. And there is a nice little trail where people go for walking or biking. So if you go in that, it just cuts across and goes to the office, but I have to go by walk. So what I would do, I would just take the book and I will walk. It's 2 hours walk. So I just keep reading and then enjoy the brief good days there. They say those good days, weather-wise. Like that, I started doing that, going 2 hours, coming 2 hours. It was nice. This, I was not planning, but it just happened. So you keep this time. The thing is, Prabhu, that 15 minutes you give priority, Krishna will give you more time to give more priority. That's the essence of it, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other questions, reflections, realizations? Somebody has? Sorry,
Hare Krishna. So one thing is, Prabhuji, reading the Bhagavatam, but I can see how you relish Bhagavatam. Any tips on how to start getting that taste?
The reading is relishing, Prabhu. Some of the things that my Guru Maharaj used to tell us that really had its impact on us. Like Maharaj used to tell that, how important is your breath? How important is your breath? Yes, Maharaj, without breath we cannot live. If we stop breathing, we will die. So Bhagavatam is more important than that breath. You can forget to breathe, but you cannot forget Bhagavatam. And the other thing he would say is that, you should be so absorbed in Bhagavatam that you go and if you have to go and jump into the ocean also, tie Bhagavatam around your neck and then you go inside so that even your dead body doesn't come up. You should bury yourself inside Bhagavatam. And it's like hearing from a person Bhagavata, you get that same relation, right, Prabhu? So we had that opportunity. There are so many person Bhagavatas in our movement. So one thing that we have to do is serving them by following their instructions. Second thing is we should see how they are relishing Bhagavatam. And then we pray for their mercy. Then we will also, one day we will relish. Relish is nothing, Prabhu. It's just repeated doing. Like how do you relish some particular flavor of an ice cream? How it becomes your favorite flavor? You go, first time you eat, you take it, you like it. Next time you go, you take it. Third time you go, take it. That becomes your favorite flavor, isn't it? So repeated reading, you start relishing it. But it comes, Prabhu. Only thing is that all your priorities will be here. If we add Bhagavatam as one of these priorities, then we will not be able to relish. We should always keep it on top. Our chanting and Bhagavatam should be always on top. Rest everything will follow on its own. So that is why give first priority to, and try to, Krishna will give innovative ideas, Prabhu. I will tell you, keep it as a regular practice. I have been doing this one chapter every day. But then it will become a name and fame thing if I keep doing it. Or I will say, pride thing. Oh, if I miss it, then my importance will be lost. So you have to devise newer ways. Like what I will do, I will read one chapter, but I won't have time to read all the purport. So I will take one verse and I will write it on in my notebook and try to meditate on it. So I was doing it for a couple of years. But if I do the same thing again, then I will feel that as monotonous. So how do you reinvent it? Then this time I was thinking, let's read the purports. Take important points from some of the purports and note it down, and don't write pages and pages. I kept it a limit that only 1 page I will write per day, but I will do it at any cost. Even if it is midnight, 12, 1 o'clock, whatever it is, you have to sit, write, and then only you go to sleep. If you take that tapasya, that prata, Atma aham tapaso nagha, Krishna says in Bhagavatam into Brahma, that I am penance, I am austerity, I am penance. So that whenever we do that little austerity, Krishna is with us, and he gives us the mercy. So this kind of, at any cost, I have to do this, that Dhrida Vrata, Yatantasya Dhrida Vrata, when we have that, then relish automatically comes through. This is my personal experience. You can, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, Mataji. I think they need the mic.
हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू प्रभु जी। तो जी मेरे 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं। एक कि ये टॉलरेट जब हम करने के इसके लिए डिस्कशन सुनते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि वी शुड डेवलप दिस क्वालिटी, बट जब सिचुएशन आती है तो उस वक्त मैं ये एक्सक्यूज़ देती हूँ कि ये सिचुएशन टॉलरेट करने के नहीं है, यहाँ पे रिएक्ट करना चाहिए, यहाँ पे हमें करेक्शन देना चाहिए। तो इससे कैसे बच सकते हैं? और दूसरा क्वेश्चन प्रभु जी, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि ये भी एक एक्सक्यूज़ है, जब हम दक्ष प्रजापति का एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं या श्रृंगी का लिखते हैं, तो समटाइम्स वी वांट टू करेक्ट आवर सीनियर्स, और हम कभी कभी उनका रिस्पेक्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं। हम वी वांट टू करेक्ट आवर सीनियर्स, हमारे सीनियर डिवोटीज हैं और उनमें हमें कमी दिखती है, या हम उनके प्रति रिस्पेक्ट लूज करने लगते हैं धीरे धीरे। तो पर हम उसको जस्टिफाई भी करते हैं।
क्या करते हैं?
जस्टिफाई भी करते हैं, वो सही है ऐसा हमें लगता है कि बिकॉज ऑफ देयर एक्टिविटीज वी आर लूजिंग दैट रिस्पेक्ट। तो इन दोनों सिचुएशन में कैसे डील करना चाहिए?
फर्स्ट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट टॉलरेंस।
यस प्रभु जी।
हाउ टू, आई मीन व्हेन टू डिसाइड व्हेन टू टॉलरेट एंड व्हेन टू रिएक्ट।
यस प्रभु जी, या हमेशा ये जो एक्सक्यूज
कब सहना है और कब रिएक्ट करना है।
यस प्रभु जी।
पहला वाला। दूसरा वाला?
दूसरा ये कि हम सीनियर्स का रिस्पेक्ट लूज करने लगते हैं। कैसे वो तब कैसे डील करना चाहिए?
आई आंसर द सेकंड क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट।
ओके, थैंक यू।
ये क्या है ना, पहले मैं हिंदी में आंसर कर सकता हूँ। तो एक बार ऐसा हुआ, मैं मिनियापोलिस में कुछ प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहा था, तो उस समय और भी ज़्यादा उत्साहित लोग आ रहे थे, प्रोग्राम्स और भी ज़्यादा उत्साहित हो गया। तो मैं सोच रहा था कि अभी इन सब लोगों के आने से मेरा उत्साह भी बढ़ रहा है। तो मैं उस समय हमारे शिक्षा गुरु है उधर, परम पूज्य गणपति स्वामी महाराज, वो अभी भी है उधर, हमको ज़्यादा शिक्षा दिए हैं। वी आर वेरी थैंकफुल टू हिम फॉर दैट। The attachment to Prabhupada's books we played a major part in that. तो उनको मैंने बताया कि महाराज ये इन सब भक्तों के आने से मेरा उत्साह और भी बढ़ता है और मेरा विश्वास भी और भी बढ़ रहा है। तो महाराज बहुत बढ़िया उत्तर दिए थे कि we were Brahmana initiated, no? So there is a mantra there. We may not be able to say that outside, but the mantra meaning is like this. कि I am praying to my spiritual master who is always enthusiastic in serving the Lord. Okay, ऐसा always enthusiastically serving the Lord, उत्साहित, बहुत बड़े उत्साह से भगवान की सेवा कर रहे हैं। तो महाराज ने बोला कि if you are tying your उत्साह with somebody's उत्साह, somebody's devotion and etc., then you will also go like a sine wave like this. आपके भक्ति भी ऐसे ऐसे हो जाएगा। You should never do that. You give give respect to them, but you have to have your own path. You have to pave your own path. अपने रास्ता आपको बनाना है, because you know what you are special at, what you are good at. तो उन्होंने बताया कि तो किसी के साथ तो we have to have a लगाव ना, लगाव तो होना ही है ना. तो महाराज ने इस मंत्र को बताया कि the only person to whom you should be attached to, dependent on, is your guru's enthusiasm. उनके उत्साह से आपको जुड़वाना चाहिए बस. Then you will not go through this up and down sine curve. Guru and Krishna, right? When you have that, Prabhupada is there, our Guru Maharaj is there. When we attach ourselves to that, then our thing will be very, very fixed and very smooth and thing. What we do is, we give too much respect to somebody, and in fact, Prabhupada told that at one point. He said that a greater offense than over criticizing somebody is over glorifying somebody. More dangerous. And he said that. Prabhupada said this. You are glorifying somebody too much, then they are going to fall down. And then you will make them fall down, and then you will tell, hey, he is fallen down, what will I do, what will I do? Why are you glorifying him too much, so much thing? From the heart, when we say that is fine. But always going on, Prabhu, you are great, you are great. One devotee came and told me that, Prabhu, you are great, Prabhu, why are you glorifying me? No, my senior devotee, my Shiksha Guru told me that only by glorifying other devotees, I can advance in devotional service. But for you to advance in devotion, why are you putting me to hell? I don't care whether you go to hell or not, Prabhu, but I want to advance. सब स्वार्थ है. So we have to care for everybody. When we are caring for all the souls, why can't we care for other Vaishnavas in the community? So that caring also, it means not just, when they are in trouble, I am going and caring. Why first of all they are in trouble? Why put them in trouble? That is the biggest thing, Mataji, which we have seen also, that don't over glorify, don't also keep it to yourself. Just from the heart you say some whatever little thing and just move on. And the other problem is, when I glorify somebody, then I will expect something from him. And when that person is glorified, he will expect more glorification from me. You give more glorification, only then I will do what you want. It's like that dopamine, they call, no? Dopamine. That drug. We always have to keep on giving dopamine. Only good things. We misunderstand this thing that you think good about others. We don't think good about others, but we always speak good about others. So there is a, lack of harmony, right? You think good and you say the good and move on. But inside I say, I hate this person, but what can I do? To get the job done from him, I have to glorify him. So there is no congruency. Incongruency is there. Ab samajh gaye na main jo bolta hu. So this is not coming from the heart, right? When Narad Muni went and glorified Dhruva Maharaj, about Dhruva Maharaj going back, that is a real glorification. Right? When Maitreya and Vidura are talking to each other, when Maitreya is glorifying Vidura, he is not glorifying him just to get more things. He was honestly, from the heart, he was glorifying. So this is the important thing we have to understand, Mataji. So then we are free of the faults, and the other person is also free of the faults. And we can help them also whenever they are facing challenges. So, and another thing we also understand is that just because we are here doesn't mean that we are all become Paramahamsas. We are all still having our own struggles. And we have to see that, and we have to give a hand, We have to put our hand on the shoulder and talk to them. That Prabhu, can I see this? Or we get to hear from others also. So this, don't tag, even that senior devotee, this thing also, they are also tags. Don't give all those different. And then he will always think in his mind, oh, I am senior devotee, I am senior devotee, I am senior devotee. And then he will lose his natural way of behaving. And I mean, not to say in this thing, but I always like to connect with Kannada Guru. He's so casual, free. He is not looking here, there, and he just comes and hugs. And I see with most of the devotees here that there is no reservation. Yo maya santatya anuvritya, no reservation. So हम ऐसे ही we just मिलजुल के रहते हैं तो कोई problem नहीं है, समस्या नहीं है. So when the person is coming back also, we welcome. There's nothing. What can we do? They will do. With the Maya Manomayam, Maya is doing all these things. And Maya will not leave anybody alone. Right? If Daksha is defeated, Mataji. Who are we? Daksha is direct son of Brahma. He was given such a big position. Indra is getting affected. We are nothing. So that is for the second question. Your first question was about how to understand when to tolerate and when to react. You simply tolerate. Krishna will make sure you react at some point. And only thing that जब आप रिएक्ट करते हैं ना, आप ऐसे मत सोचे कि इतने बार मैंने सह लिया, मुझे रिएक्ट करना ही है. ये क्या है ना, ये तो हमारे डेटाबेस में ऐसा बढ़ता रहा है. पहले बार मैंने सह लिया, दूसरे बार मैंने 100 बार मैंने सह लिया. Maharaj told me once a very interesting statement from Bible. 9,999 times, 999 times Jesus said, you forgive the other person. So the problem is, Maharaj said, remember 2 F's to us. Remember, you have to forgive, you have to forget. आपको हो जाए उसको भूल बोलते हैं ना. Just one bar is different, right? आपको भूल भी जाना है, भूल भी करना है, भूलना भी. You have to do that both. So why I asked Maharaj, why we have to forget? Thing is, you have to forget the fact that you are forgiven. Otherwise, I'll keep on, I have forgiven him once, I have forgiven him once. Always I keep saying I have forgiven so many times. Then what happens? It boils down like a pressure cooker. That is why we need Bhagavatam. You forgive him, come to Bhagavatam, you will forget that you have forgiven him. You will enjoy Bhagavatam like this. How much Prabhupada had to tolerate, Maharaj used to tell some very interesting story in Nairobi. Prabhupada went to Nairobi many years, during his time. And they were all very new people. He went and he stayed there. I think Brahmananda Prabhu, somebody was there, was started off that thing there. All black devotees, they didn't know anything. They were seeing Prabhupada for the first time. They didn't have anything in their, they were just living with bare things. And Prabhupada in the morning, he comes and he sees that his dhoti, kurta, everything is lost, stolen. And he was telling, where are my stolen kurtas? And everything is gone. And somehow or other, some devotee gave his sannyas dress and Prabhupada wore that and he sat in the Vyasasan. And he saw that one devotee is wearing kurta, another devotee is wearing his dhoti, and another one is having his sannyas top. All those things, they all got, they distributed it among themselves. They took the Mahaprasad. And then when the deity was to be opened, they didn't know what to do. Radharani is, half dressed, Krishna is without the flute, his crown is like this. And somebody is calling somebody and Prabhupada says, hey, he opened the screen with all the, hey, why did you open? No, Maharaj, Prabhupada, that devotee called me. But why did you open the screen? This devotee told me to open. All these things he was tolerating. And because he was tolerating, he could succeed, And Maharaj used to give a beautiful example for tolerance, Very nice example. We all can relate to it. This... aloo vada or aloo bhaji, whatever you call it, how it is made. First we take the aloo, buy from the shop, and then what we do first thing is we peel the skin. Just put yourself in that potato situation. If somebody is peeling the skin, how it will be? It doesn't say anything. And then after that you cut into pieces, and after that you put mirchi on top of it. And then you put in the besan flour, then mix it. And then you put it in the hot oil, you fry it. And then it doesn't say anything. And after that, as if that is not enough, you bring it and put it in the stomach, put it in the mouth and chew it. And then we say, lovely, lovely. Because it is tolerating, it is lovely. If it has shouted, it would not be. If it threw some oil on us, you put me into oil, come on, you take some more oil, then we will not. Right? So this is from aloo we learn this. From aloo. Tomorrow we do aloo sabji, aloo ka sabji. We should have what all it went through, That is what is called kana pakhana we say, Right? That is what pakwa, paripakwa. It's called maturity. We become mature in devotional service only when we are shunted from listen to this direction and top to bottom, cut, fried, baked, whatever they do, then we become very sweet for other devotees. They enjoy us. So tolerance is the best thing. Don't worry about reacting. Reaction will come on its own. You don't have to plan to react. You should only plan to tolerate. Reaction comes on its own. Does it help, Mataji? Thank you. Very nice questions. I think we should stop here or still some more. Anything? You can stop, right? जय ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। वांछकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय। Sorry for anything if I told out of turn or